if your French teacher, or if your TWI teacher, or your Chinese teacher, or your English teacher is teaching you in 70% English or the main language that you already understand, and 30% of the language you're trying to learn, please get your money back, get your refund, because you're really being scammed, especially when you're trying to really learn a language only to understand and just communicate basic stuff.
Hey
guys, Etisen, your friend Amma. How are you? My name is Amma. Welcome to this channel. This channel is called Unconventional TWI, which boils down to the point that I am going to be teaching TWI in an unconventional way. So the purpose of this video is to really introduce to you the best way to learn a language and why I'm taking this approach and how I'm going to take this approach. So if you're really interested in learning TWI, hear me out. Okay, let's get straight into today's video. And yeah, so first of all, I am a language learner myself, and I believe that anybody who teaches languages should be a language learner. This is because I got motivated to teach TWI because I started to learn Chinese, and over a long time, I started to learn Chinese for over a year, and I would always go through like books and like try to memorize things and characters and all those things, but nothing would really stick in my head. And after a whole year of learning Chinese, I could only form about 2 sentences fluently. And I realized that there's something definitely wrong with the approach that I was taking. So what I decided to do is did a simple search on YouTube, asking YouTube what is the best way to learn a language, and I came across a video that I'll leave the link in the description bar below, and it's really, that video really showed me this method, which is the TPRS method. TPRS is basically teaching proficiency with reading and storytelling. So it's different, it's a whole different approach from the regular teaching method. So you remember that in school they would basically teach in like about 70% English, and let's say if you're learning French, 30% of the class will be in French and then 30% will be in English. And I'm telling you today, if your French teacher, or if your TWI teacher, or your Chinese teacher, or your English teacher is teaching you in 70% English or the main language that you already understand, and 30% of the language you're trying to learn, please get your money back, get your refund, because you're really being scammed, especially when you're trying to really learn a language only to understand and just communicate basic stuff. I think what differentiates the TPRS method from the traditional method is that TPRS uses a lot of comprehensible input, and about 80% of my class, which of my TWI classes that I will be offering soon, will be in TWI, and maybe about 15 to 10% will be in English. Then you're asking me, how am I going to really understand a class when I don't speak TWI? And like, how are you going to give me instructions? How are you going to teach me when I don't already understand the language? So what TPRS does is, so remember the definition that I gave you, it was the RS in the TPRS means reading and storytelling. So my channel will really focus more on the storytelling aspect. So what I would do is, I have some keywords that I want you to learn by the end of the lesson, and then I would write the English version of it. The next thing that we're going to do is find gestures that we will associate with those words. So when we are able to find the gestures that associate with those words, what the next thing that we're going to be doing is I would be saying those words in forming sentences, and then you will be doing the gestures alongside, and I'll be asking you questions. Sometimes a question I ask you would have the gestures and what with the words, so that you would understand more. And by the end of the class, I would have repeated each word about 20 to 30 times. And the more inputs you're getting, the more you're able to pronounce the words properly, and the more you're able to remember the words that you learn. It's similar to the approach that kids take when they are learning a language. So for example, nobody ever teaches kids grammar, structure, rules, and all those things. So I personally believe that if you want to teach someone the basis of a language, just like a kid learns English or your mother tongue, from before, like, the person is able to speak the basics of the language, I don't think you should introduce structure and grammar and like all those stuff. Sure, I will be including a little bit of grammar here and there, and my pop-up grammar lessons and the entire lessons will be for only about roughly 30 seconds, less than a minute. That's really to structure the entire class, but my class will not be primarily teaching you grammar and stuff, because it is not necessary. Just think about a kid. From a kid turns 0 to 4, nobody teaches the kid, sits your child down and teach grammar, like, but they're still able to speak the language. And it's that same approach that we're going to be using here. No grammar, no books, no pens, nothing. No kid under the age of 3 or 4, depending on how you want to raise your child, picks a book and a pen and writes all the English words and memorizes it. It just comes naturally. If you have candy, you show it to the child, and candy in Tree is toffee. So if I show the candy to the kid and I say toffee, the child is going to associate the object with the word toffee. And that's the same way if I show the candy to the kid and I say candy, that's the same way the child is going to associate the candy to the word candy. So that's really the approach that I'm going to be teaching this language. I have been learning Chinese for about a month with TPRS method, and I can tell you that I can confidently form about 30 to 50 sentences using certain words. I know about 25 words offhand, and I can understand about 50 words offhand by using this method. So another thing that I'll be using with the approach is, it's not entirely about memorization. Memorization is key, but you have to remember that the more you get comprehensible input, you would automatically memorize the words. So the channel, it's mainly, this channel is going to be teaching Chi. I am going to be, not the channel will be teaching Chi, but I will be teaching you Chi. So a little bit about my background. So my name is Ama Adam, as I said, and I have learned Chi over the past over 20 years now. You know, like, I grew up learning Chi from home, and I can confidently say that from K, which is like kindergarten, from kindergarten to maybe before high school to junior high school, I learned Chi in school. So I learned to read and write in Chi. So being someone that communicates in Chi every single day, as well as being someone that has been taught how to speak Chi, I am equipped with these skills, buttered with the fact that I'm using a different approach. And I will tell you that I can confidently say I am the first TPRS Chi teacher ever to be existent on YouTube. In fact, I'm the first TPRS teacher ever to be in this world. I don't know, but that's what I think. But because I realized that TPRS, also know that TPRS is really used for a lot of advanced languages that have been progressed. But the difference is, I don't blame people not teaching in this method because they probably haven't heard of this method. And number two, like when it comes to Twi in itself is not a language, it's just a dialect that is spoken by the Akan people in Ghana. So a lot of people, like, the language is not advanced enough to really be able to use the TPRS method. So I know that it's definitely gonna be challenging for me to use this language or dialect that is not fully developed to teach in this method. But I know that with God everything is possible, and I know that I'll be able to teach you guys how to speak Twi. So my channel is basically for anyone that really, for example, people that are born in the diaspora, which is the UK's, the US, anywhere that is not Ghana, and you were not raised to speak Twi, and you really want to speak Twi. That is the purpose of my channel. I'm gonna really teach you, if maybe you're Ghanaian and you want to learn Twi because your parents didn't teach you how to speak Twi, or you're dating a Ghanaian boyfriend and you want to impress him by speaking, like being able to have simple conversations with him. Or you love Ghana so much and you have heard a lot about Ghana, or you have decided to go to Ghana in December, which is late in Ghana, and we all know that Twi is the main language, one of the main languages spoken in Ghana. So you want to learn that and be able to communicate with the locals. I will teach you all the words and phrases and sentences to equip you to be able to have conversations, or even if you're not able to have conversations, better still, you will be able to understand the stuff that people say. So yes, TPRS really involves teaching you a class in that you understand 100% of everything that is spoken in my class. I also offer private lessons at a fare of $15 an hour. Or you can do a bundle of like 10 classes and I can reduce the price for you. We can negotiate and stuff like that. So all the links to my oh, if you like this hairband, I got it from AfroDivePrince.com. It's only like $2 or $3. Links will be in the description bar below. And I would also be leaving links to my email so that if you want one-on-one classes, you can contact me on there and then we can schedule something. But I'm so excited, and I will try and upload videos every week or every other week. I can't promise right now because I'm managing like 2 or 3 other channels, but I will do my possible best to be uploading as much as possible. Thank you so much for tuning into today's video, and subscribe and hit the post notification button so that you will be notified every single time that I post. Thank you so much for watching this video, and without further ado, I'll catch you guys in the next one.